Hello, 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 everybody. I hope and pray that your week is off to an amazing start. Again, hello, hello, everybody. Um, I know you guys missed me last week. I was, resting. Last week, I needed to take a break. I had been working myself too much. And so therefore I decided I was going to take myself a little break and get myself some rest. But again, I hope and pray that your week is off to an amazing start. For you guys on here, do me a huge, huge favor. Put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love, love, love to give you a shout out. And again, it is Tuesday, and you guys knows what goes down here on Tuesday. So do me a huge, huge favor. Make sure you're letting everybody know the wife chat is going down. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would love, love, love to give you a shout out. Again, last week I was just tired. Hi, Francis. How are you? I appreciate you for joining me from Florida. I appreciate you. Again, like I said, I was just tired and I was like, but this week is off to a better start. I'm not burnt out or whatever. But again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I truly appreciate you. This chat comes from a husband from Idaho. He has 3 children, ages 8, 12, and 14, and they have been married 17 years. And this was his message to me. Help, Dr. Gail, my wife is keeping a nasty house. He says, Dr. Gail, I'm at my wit's end. My wife and I have been married for 17 years, and I work a full-time job as well as a part-time job. My wife works a part-time job 2 days a week. After the pandemic, we decided that she would homeschool our children. When she was working full-time, she kept the house really, really clean. But now the house is a wreck, and he put wreck / disaster. I don't know what to do, but it really makes me upset, and it really makes me not want to come home. Hi, Rosalinda. How you doing from Illinois? I appreciate you for getting on here. And he says, it really makes me not want to come home. I have talked to her about this several times. When I get the opportunity, when I'm not working, I do try to help and do my part. I'm just trying to figure out what is wrong with her that she thinks that having a nasty house is okay. Now, as you guys know, whenever you reach out to me with a wife chat, I always try to reach out to get more information. However, I was not able to get a hold to this husband because I had some more questions. What is it the kitchen just not, done? Is the whole house a wreck? What I was trying to get more information. However, he did not get back with me. So I'm just going to have to go with the information that he put here. And some of the things he put in here gave me some kind of direction to go to help somebody if they're living in a situation where their environment is not clean or tidy, right? And what he did say was when his wife was working a full-time job, she kept the house really clean. But when they decided that they were going to homeschool their 8, 12, and 14-year-old after the pandemic, she only works now 2 days a week, and she's at home all the time. That was kind of like a red flag for me because there is a lot going on probably with her, being that she had to switch things. So what might be going on with this wife? for her to stop caring about her home and taking care of her home, especially when she was working outside of the home. And he said she kept it really, really clean. And now that she's at home, she doesn't care, which is the thing. So my first thing to say is that this wife is probably depressed, right? Because if she was career driven and she was working outside of the home and she was thriving and she was having outside, stimulation, going to work, probably going to lunch and all those kind of things with her coworker. And after the pandemic, she's at home, not having that stimulation of adult conversations as much. And she's, homeschooling 3 children, and she probably doesn't get out very much, right? That could be a precursor for her to start feeling depressed, start feeling like, he's thriving in his career. I'm stuck at home with the kids kind of moment. And again, I didn't get the opportunity to talk, but she could be in a depressed state because it's just not normal to go from keeping a really clean house to just now being a disaster. And it must be something really pressing, or must be something, a drastic change for him to say that he thinks about not coming home. And it also could be that, and he's burnt out because he's working 2 jobs trying to make up, I'm sure, the financial gap from her not working a full-time job as well. And not only is he working a full-time job, but he says he works a part-time job as well. And so depression could be a huge, huge reason why this particular wife has stopped caring about their home, right? And again, I didn't get a chance to have that conversation. Number 2, she could be experiencing burnout of staying at home with the kids. Homeschooling could not be what maybe she imagined in her mind, right? Because when you say yes to that, and that's not what you normally do on a normal basis. Again, I didn't know what full-time job she worked, but if that's not something you do on a full, on a normal basis, making that switch, right? From becoming a teacher to your student, to your children, which is, a whole different role, could be very, very taxing on her as well. And she might be experiencing burnout because, again, she's not only mom, she's not only a wife, but now she didn't put on the hat of being an educator, right? And a lot of times, my hats are off to people who are able to homeschool their children or whatever. But I just know from working at home myself, right? Sometimes I'm like, I have to get out because I feel like the walls are closing in, and I'm not homeschooling nobody or anything like that. But when you have clients, all day, and then you eat, sleep, and everything in the same environment, sometimes you do need an outlet. So she could just be burnt out, and she could be like, rethinking the homeschooling thing. And maybe she's just not saying anything because the husband is working or whatever. And I don't know what the communication level is or anything like that. Again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Do me a huge favor, put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love give you a shout out. And then number 3, she can look around and see whatever the dirt or the disorganization or whatever is going on, and it might just be overwhelming for her to even know where to start, right? Because when you have such a disorganized area or just a space, every time you look at it, you're like, I don't even know where to start, right? And if she's working, sleeping, eating, doing everything in that space, it can become daunting because it's like, I'll do it tomorrow because I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And it just begins to grow. And again, if she's in a depressed state, just thinking, what have I done with my life? Why did I commit to this or whatever? And again, I haven't spoke with her. It could be just overwhelming for her. Okay. So let me give you some things that you as a husband or a wife that are that's dealing with the clutter, or the way he's, wreck, disaster. Those were his words. One thing you can do to alleviate it, because he did say he's tried to have multiple conversations with his wife about this disaster, wreck, train wreck, is if she's not able to come out of this situation, the first thing you can do is, if you can, is maybe say, honey, do you need some assistance with helping getting help, cleaning up the house? Now I've seen stuff advertised on TV, and I don't know if it's up in Ohio, where they have these people that will come clean, one room for $19. Each room is $19. So, if you want to do one room, one week, another room, and maybe you can start get her some outside help, because it might be daunting in order for her to be with the kids, do all the other stuff, and then also start to clean up as well. And I'm just giving this out if you can afford the $19 and it's just daunting to you. It might be worth the investment. And don't look at it like I'm spending some, money for somebody to come in to clean up my house when my wife and my children are there all day. You might need to switch your thinking and saying, this is overwhelming for her, and it's making me not want to come home. So I need to invest in this in order for our marriage and for us to get in a space where I feel comfortable coming home. So invest. And that could be just, that's a suggestion, but maybe get some outside help to come in. And then the other thing is, ask your wife, sit down and have a conversation with your wife and ask her, is homeschooling too much for you? Do you want to go back out in the workforce? Because again, she probably took that on thinking that it was not going to be so taxing on her. But you might want to have that conversation, because she might feel trapped that she didn't committed to this and she's got to continue down this path. So again, ask her, do you want to go back to work? Were you, because it seems as if you were more happier, our home was more tidy, and you just don't seem that you can get this under control. So would you like to go back to work? Would you like to reevaluate what we talked about during the pandemic? It's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, that worked then, it's not working now. But you got to have these open, honest conversations with one another, because if not, again, you don't want to be a husband that's not wanting to come home. And I'm sure she feels the tension, and I'm sure she wants some kind of help, but you're going to have these awkward, hard conversations. And my last suggestion is if maybe you can, if you can't, you don't want to try to get some outside help, and I understand that, because I don't know your economic status. If you say, you know what, this week I'm going to take off my part-time job, I'm asking you to take off your part-time job, so we can be together and we can just start decluttering, come up with a declutter plan, and we'll start with this one, whatever area is most taxing, we're going to knock that out. And then every single day, I'm going to do something when I get home, and you're going to do something that we can do together to help start getting this house back in order. And then my other thing is, you have an 8-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 14-year-old. They can learn how to clean up. I don't know the magnitude, but they can pitch in and help. They're not like they're toddlers, and you need to teach them to start learning how to clean up, because again, they live there too, and you want them to be in the most healthiest, thriving environment possible. Okay. So I hope and pray that this chat has helped somebody. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they need to say? I appreciate you guys for getting on. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting Wife Chat and everything that I do. If you have a chat that you want me to do, You feel free to either visit my website, gailcrowder.com, and send me an email, or you can inbox me on any of my social media platforms, or if you need to talk to me about something that's going on in your marriage, I am here to help. You can visit my website as well, gailcrowder.com, and schedule a free 15-minute discovery call with me. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to give you one tool and one strategy to help you in your situation and make your marriage strong. Okay. I love you guys to pieces. I will see you guys on Thursday, because I have a new video that will drop on Thursday. But if you need me, you guys know how to find me. And I appreciate all you guys getting on, and continue just to pray for me. And again, I want to see you guys win in every area of your marriage. I will see you next week.